Hi, today in this video, I want to show you 10 brushes that I created myself for skin texture, and I want to show them first on a white canvas so you can see a little bit of the texture. So those 10 brushes are very, very good when it comes to skin texture. I got this one, then I got this one, then I got this one, and they all have a little bit of a different texture. It's 10 brushes that I would not use the 10 of them on one single image, or maybe like a few of them, but not all of them. But they all have kind of a different purpose. So yeah, those are the 10 ones, and I really want to show you how they work on a illustration, basically. So I have an old illustration of mine here that I took just to show you. This one didn't have like a lot of basically a lot of texture. There's a little bit of texture on it already, but it could definitely use more. So I just want to show you all the texture that I have. So basically, each of them can add a little bit of texture, and obviously you don't want to have too much texture when you actually paint a skin. It's always good to have just a little bit of it. But if you can see just like that, it's going to add a lot of details, small details that I can actually just add on the skin. It's going to make a huge difference when you want to add some realism to your skin tone. Hopefully able to see that through the video right now. I hope the quality is going to be better. Basically, so that's the first one. And then I'm going to create just a new layer here. I'm going to show you a few more. Basically, you can just add a little bit more texture, a little bit more highlights. Maybe even take something a little bit more darkish here. Like there's different skin in this world, basically, right? I'm going to just use a saffron brush here, just soften it up. And sometimes I have the skin that I have a little bit of, like the pore of the skin will be like really apparent. So it's always fun to have different texture that you can play with just to be able to add that effect of realism. So each of them have a very different and a very specific kind of effect. Like this one, I would say, like if you're able to see this, it's really, really subtle, basically, just to add a little bit of subtlety. Obviously, if you have a portrait, you want to add some skin texture, it's going to be important that you have a document that has enough pixels. Like on this one, I have 5,000 pixels. So that's pretty much enough for me to see the details of the skin texture if I were to paint that skin texture on it. I'm going to continue I got other ones. I would say the first 4 to 5 are just for like the skin texture. And then I got some more coarse texture to just add maybe some few highlights. So if I were to add some highlights over there, let's say I would have this texture right there, just to add a little bit touch of highlights. And then I have these ones. The 3 next ones are mostly for like if you want a beauty mark or some freckles, basically. This one will be definitely for beauty mark. I would probably take this, and then it's a little bit of a random one. Then you can just paint a little bit, and then obviously with a brush, you can just delete and keep the selection that you want. So those for the beauty mark, really good. And then I created 2 other ones for freckles. This one, I'm just going to take something a little bit more orange. So this one to just add a little bit of freckles. And then I always pass with the saffron brush, just deleting a little bit of it, making that too apparent. And the last one I really like just because, there's another one for like, if you want to add even more. Just going to take something a little bit more dark, even more like freckles. Always pass with the saffron brush to just delete a little bit of them. And then I would probably make it smaller. So basically 10 of them. And the last one I wanted to show because basically this one is just for like heavy texture. Sometimes you're going to see like maybe a skin with a little bit more of a, I don't know, maybe a little bit of acne, or, just a more disturbed skin. So this one is really good for that. Just adding some more heavy texture. So I would say that the first ones are really for realism, and the other ones are a little bit more stylized. So when it comes to freckles and the last one here, but it's always fun to add some detail in your skin tone. It's going to make sure that your illustration doesn't look flat, and basically add a little volume to everything you do. So I'm going to make sure to put those brushes into the Digital Painting Academy resource. And if you look at this and you wonder what is the Academy is the premium section of Paintable.cc, where we have all the top tutorials that teach basically all the topics that you need to know about digital painting. But in particular, for this kind of illustration, we have a few other classes that teach about skin tone, how to make sure that your skin tone gets the right colors, to make sure that your illustration doesn't get muddy, and basically everything that you need to know about a skin texture and how to paint beautiful portraits. So if you are interested in that, you're not part of the Academy, you can click on the link below this video to join the Academy, and you will have access to the brushes that I show you. Otherwise, you can also click on the other link that I'm going to put just beside that, which will point you to a blog post that I did a few months back about brushes and how to create your own brushes, and therefore you'll be able to create your own brushes for skin texture. So I hope you like this video, and happy painting.